Wednesday. Chloe says happy Wednesday too. She got a shower today, so she's nice and clean. So what our conversation is today about is staying consistent on social media and what you're posting about. I've had a couple questions lately about what to post and making sure that they're coming off correctly. I've also seen a couple other people post in like our larger team page of our builder group of not wanting to be too salesy and how should they be posting, how often should they be posting, any of those type of things is what we're going to kind of go over today, and what I kind of do with my guidelines on how I kind of follow that and plan out what I'm going to be posting. So what I have right now, and I'm going to put a link to it also, is there was this post that Keisha put into our way larger team page, and it was kind of just like this 30-day plan of Facebook, Instagram posts that you're going to do for the whole entire month. And I used that, and I used it for a guideline for my second post. I do kind of 2 posts a day. I do 1 Beachbody post, and I would do 1 non-Beachbody post every single day in both I try to, in both my Facebook and my Instagram pages, as well as try to do a few Instagram story Snapchats in there. Now, not everybody's going to be doing that many in each of them. And that really is up to you as to also what you use to build your business. Let's say you just use Facebook and you don't really use Instagram, then definitely focus on Facebook and don't just try to put whatever in Instagram or put focus there if that's not what you want to use. So let me grab my planner actually.
Oh, that's one plan. Cool. This is a rabbit hole. Don't worry about it.
She doesn't want to be in it anymore. So before, when Keisha used to be like, oh, on Sundays I plan out what I'm going to be posting for the week, I kind of at first was like, but then I really found that it actually is helpful. I don't actually write the content of what my post is going to be, but I do kind of label it on my schedule as to what I need to be addressing that day for my posts. For both my Beachbody and kind of my non-Beachbody posts. So, like, here's an example of a week. It was motivation. On every Monday, I do my meal prep Mondays. And on Sundays, I do my grocery shopping. I keep those consistent because, one, it holds me accountable naturally to making sure that I'm getting my meal plan, I'm starting off the week well, and that people are seeing that I'm being very consistent with that, because it's a huge factor that I've struggled with, and I want to make sure that I show what I'm doing to stay on track with it, and that I'm actually putting in the work for those things. So those 2 are already set. But then I have other ones like, for example, of a week, it is a motivational post, something related to working out, something related to what you're doing today, a Throwback Thursday post, a Fitness Friday, again, something like what went on today, something about your day, a family pet picture post relate to friends or family, share your humor, something that happened or something that you feel is funny, so people can get to know you a little bit better. Flex Friday, something about your outfit post, healthy recipe, transformation post. So those are just examples of a few things that you could be doing that are could be related to Beachbody, and some of them that could not be also related to Beachbody. One of the things that I'm also factoring in for my posts is also relating it to my team and why I have my team name. And this is something new that I'm also doing to tie in some of those non-Beachbody posts as well as Beachbody posts as to my reasoning and definition of our team name and what it really means to me. So that way people can understand when I do talk about the team and what that means. As far as looking at it from like a building business aspect, you're going to always hear this 80-20 rule. 80% of your life, 20% about the business. On my posts, I also post personally a lot about the workout and the nutrition piece, because That's like really honestly a huge part of my life. I make sure to incorporate it every single day. If I don't get it done in the morning, it has to happen at night because I just know it affects my mood and what I do daily. It's something that I prefer to do. It's not a struggle for me. I like to do it. Whereas, example, we've got Courtney on our team who's just so amazing at her personal development, and that is just where she's at. She does such an awesome job at it that really her posts are geared towards that, and it really should be because that's who she is. And if I started to go that way, it would be like, oh, okay, because that's not really what I talk about. But again, that's who she is, and that's where she comes from because she's so freaking at it. But so thinking of that 80-20 rule. So what I kind of do is I go through my own Facebook page and kind of scroll through it, because one of the things that really stuck with me at Summit was someone said, if you look through your timeline, does it get to know you? Does it have any of like these big factors that you want a part of your life? Like, are there pictures of me and Chloe and Corey? Or are there pictures about me hanging out with my friends, going out for drinks? Are there pictures of me working out, my sweaty selfies, meal prepping, something about my day job or something along those lines? Because really, in a nutshell, those things are my life. So it should be showing up on my feed about those things because that is me. Then there should be those posts that talk about the accountability groups, that talk about the income that we're getting, that talk about my team page, or that talk about the community from Beachbody, because that's going to be that 20. That's going to be that business factor coming in from it, going into there. So it's all not necessarily, if you're posting about workouts, that you're posting about that 20, because if that's a part of your life, then that is also, even if you're not necessarily talking about Beachbody directly. But one of the things that I think can be missed when you're trying to not be salesy is missing that connecting all of those pieces together, is making sure that you're talking about why you're doing personal development, that why you're doing your workouts, why you're following these portion control containers, because we have these awesome accountability groups that we're following, and we're following these guidelines and sticking to it every day and motivating others and showing up for each other to keep each other accountable. Really, in a nutshell, that is one of the huge awesome factors. But if you don't talk about it, people don't know you're doing that piece. They know that you're doing personal development, listening to these really cool podcasts, or that you're sticking to right now I'm the Core to Force hybrid schedule, or that you're doing your meal plans and setting them out. So they know you're doing these pieces, but they don't know really where it stemmed from, that you started doing this because you were within an accountability group and started to get that going. So making sure that you do incorporate that 20 piece, so it ties it all together. So when you go out and do your invites, people know and they say, oh yeah, I think I've seen that on her page before. Can you tell me more about it? Because I've seen it, or they might even ask you about it and say, hey, what's this group you talk about? So making sure that even though you're trying not to be salesy, that you still incorporate those things, so that way others are aware even just by looking at your feed. One of the other things that I've been really on track of is what goes on my timeline. So because people are looking at your timeline to kind of get a snapshot of who you are, especially when you add them and they're kind of like, well, who's this person? And they go and look at that. You want to make sure that you don't have all these random things that you were tagged in by other people inside your newsfeed, because then it's really going to gear away towards any motivational stuff you put, any of your life stuff or your business building stuff. It's going to get in the way. So what you can do is you can actually click the little down carrot thing and put hide from my timeline, and start continuously doing that. And then and you can also put your Facebook setting factors to ask you to post things onto your timeline that people tag you in, and then you can approve or not approve from there. But I think one of the things too, to make sure that you feel you're being consistent and showing up on Facebook, is doing it daily. Doing it daily and making sure that you don't drop off and all of a sudden randomly one day post about this, 2 days later post about that, the next day post about this, but that you're staying consistent and showing up, that you're doing your workouts, that you're doing Beachbody factors, and that you're also telling about your life, because people want to follow it. People want to know where you're at. They want to see your progress, especially once they start talking about it and they're seeing your results. They want to keep watching and they want to keep knowing. So if you drop off, then their following's gone. So you want to make sure that you're consistent in it. And I feel like for me personally, setting out a schedule as to what I should be posting that day has really helped me make sure that I stay consistent in what I should be posting and know, oh, okay, I still have one of my non-Beachbody posts for Instagram to do, or I have this to do for my Facebook. On my Instagram, I do it a little differently. I have an actual every other setup for it. So my setup is I do a motivational post, quote, picture, and then I do a different picture. So I always have to make sure that I'm switching up the styles of the quotes as well as what the pictures are within it, that it's my life as well as Beachbody within there. So that's another thing that I like to switch up within there, and everybody's style is going to be different onto how they use each platform. But I definitely feel like sitting down once a week or setting out a month, like I did with my planner, and kind of setting out what you're going to be posting about that day will then, one, take away what you have to think about for that post. And if you want to go even further, like Keisha, our more upline coach, is even writing out some of the content for what you might be posting associated to that pictures. I know for me personally, I for my Instagram, I use a Pinterest board, and I'll save different quotes and stuff that I want to be posting for Instagram in there. So I already have a board full of content that I'm going to be cycling through on my motivational quotes and pictures. So I don't have to think about it for the day. I just kind of go in there, pick which one's next, and use something that applies to it, that I feel applies right then for me. So that's another way that I'm already preparing ahead of time and don't have to be on the spot for what I'm going to be posting that day. I think to start off with, just make sure that you're consistent, at least one a day. If you can do it one a day, then you can start building from there. But definitely having a plan is super helpful. I'll put onto our team page a couple templates that has shown people's ideas of different topics for a whole month of different areas you could post about that could be related to Beachbody if you wanted to, but also not if that's what you're choosing to post for that day. But definitely showing up and not dropping off and making sure people still know that you're there is the most important thing. Well, I hope you all have a really great Wednesday. I'll see you all later. Bye.